it's just really doing the right things and combining the right biohacking techniques.
Right. So you do stem cells, NAD, and cryo.
Cryo,
Those are your
infrared.
Infrared,
I'm a big fan
okay.
of that. You can also do phototherapy beds. There's a NovaThor bed, which uses red light and infrared signals and stuff, and that's really good as well.
Cool. And this is all helping you achieve 50% deep sleep? That's crazy.
I'm getting up to 40%, but it depends.
Really?
Yeah, I mean, and sleep's very complex too. I mean, I kind of sort of have it. I have several sensors that I track, so we're basically.
Is that the Whoop band?
Yeah, we have a Whoop band.
Wow,
Fitbit,
you have like
and Oura.
5 trackers.
Yeah, well,
Holy
I think
cow, that's a lot of radiation.
It's a lot. It's not that bad. We can reverse that. It's really about data tracking, right? Because in the biohack world, how do you know what moves the dial, right? And we're all so different. So a large part of this is actually to create custom programs where I can actually just dial it into your stats. So once I can dial into your stats and I can figure out what's moving for you or not, we can start fixing it, right? Because really, I'm more of a physiological expert. I go on your cell physio level and see what affects it from there. But I mean, I think Oura Rings is amazing.
I have mine, sure.
Yeah, for a lot of people are here, right?
I'm only getting like 17% deep sleep. I mean, is that average? Am I way below average?
So I would say on average, the percentage is hard because it depends. If you're getting 17% of 10 hours, that's probably pretty good. But 17% of 5 hours sucks.
Yeah.
So really what it comes down to, if you can get about an hour of deep sleep, that's usually pretty good.
Okay.
The goal is usually 20%.
All right.
But that's kind of where even the whole idea of biohacking sleep, no one really talks about it, right? People think that if you just take a sleep pill, that's actually great for you, that's actually not so great for you.
But it's not, right? Because if you take melatonin, doesn't it impede going into deep sleep? Or
it can. I mean, there's certain things that, and everyone's body is different, right? It's the idea of taking like a benzo to go to bed, or Ambien, things like that.
Or marijuana.
I mean,
THC.
some of that can actually be helpful. I mean, it depends for certain people. And that's kind of where the whole idea of sleep is interesting. And I bunch sleep into regenerative medicine. You'll typically sleep maybe under neurology, but if you actually look at sleep at peak performance, I mean, Whoop does a lot of sleep tracking as well,
have a Whoop
right?
band.
And they have interesting studies. I don't know the exact stats, but let's just kind of call it 6 hours. There was something that if you get less than 6 hours, your injury rate on the field is like 200%.
Right.
So they're very interested in why and how their athletes recover, because if you don't get enough sleep or you overtrain, that's a problem. So the component of sleep recovery occurs during deep sleep. Mm-hmm. So if you think about, if that's something that you just have to biohack, that's actually, I was a guy who would just sleep 5 hours a day, and I thought that was really good. I could get more work done.
I'm sure a lot of us.
And I realized actually that's really harmful. So when I started getting into a lot of this, that's actually why I actually mandatory try to get 6 to 7 hours of sleep. And then for guys,
same.
If you get less than 6 hours of sleep, your testosterone levels are that of someone 10 years older than you. Mm-hmm. So just even on that, there's a lot of hormone regulation that are tied into sleep as well.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I got my Inside Tracker. Are you familiar with Inside Tracker? They do blood biomarker testing, and they have this thing called the inner age test, where they test your biomarkers and tell you how old you are inside, and then here's how old you are chronologically, and so I'm 30 inside, but I'm 40 chronologically. Just so you know. That's great. So anyway,
you don't age.
Asian? Yeah. Okay, so great. So sleep. You're getting great sleep. What's the most effective way of getting more deep sleep?
I mean, sleep's such a broad topic, but like some of the basic stuff, and it really goes around sleep hygiene. I mean, blackouts, right? If your room's not totally pitch black, your body notices that. Because again, we're very simple. Like the whole reason why phototherapy works, like these red light beds or LED therapy, your body detects these lights, right? That's kind of why your iPhone goes into that nighttime shift where there's less blue light and it looks more yellow, the screen. That's actually because these things can affect actually how your sleep cycle occurs. So I would say sleep hygiene is huge. So blackouts in the room, that's huge.
Are you wearing
I don't really wear those glasses.
Okay.
People wear these like yellow glasses that block out blue light. I mean, for me, I'm just always exposed to like laptop screens all the time, and I don't know. I'm sort of doing okay anyways with some of the things that I'm on.
Sounds like it.
But just in general, and it's also not practical for everybody. That and really going to bed at the same time and waking up at the same time. As simple as that sounds, that's huge.
Yeah.
So if you actually go to bed at the same time and wake up at the same time, even on weekends, that actually gets your circadian rhythm really in check. And then some of the other stuff is actually about what's your sleep chronotype. So Dr. Michael Bruce is pretty famous for being the sleep doctor, and so he kind of categorizes people into 4 types. You know, you're either kind of what they call, you know, you go to bed relatively late, not too late, like 10:30, but you wake up at 7. He calls those bears, right? Those are bears, they're social people. That's kind of like that sleep chronotype. Then you have the lions. The lions go to bed really early, but they wake up at 6 a.m. And then you have the wolves. The wolves hunt at night, so wolves typically go to bed at like 12 or 1 and then wake up a little bit later. And then you have dolphins. And dolphins are basically insomniacs because a dolphin actually doesn't sleep. It only sleeps with one half of its brain off and the other half of the brain's on. So those are your insomniacs.
Can you possibly be a healthy dolphin then?
I don't.
People that say that I can get by, but with 4 or 5 hours.
They're challenging. I mean, genetically, there's a subset of population that only needs like 3 to 4 hours of sleep, but it's kind of hard to sort of again biohack that component. That's your genes. But the reason why I bring up sleep chronotype is that a lot of us fight what our natural sleep chronotype is, right? I mean, so for me, I've adjusted my schedule. I'm not really a morning person. I'm more that, you know, evening person. I like to go to bed at 12, 1, but then I'll wake up at 7:30. But, you know, if you're doing that and you're doing your whole morning workout routine, which for me now takes like, you know, an hour and change, it's like my day doesn't start till 9:30, 10.
Right.
But that's how I engineer my day so that I get more work done. So I would rather start my day at 10 a.m. and be super optimized because I'm getting a lot of good quality deep sleep and work just a little bit later. So that's kind of where I think the mentality will change. And then, you know, there's a lot of people who are entrepreneurs here and they work for themselves or they have more flexible hours at the company they're at, and I think that's important.
Right.
I think people really neglect that whole component of, you know, forcing this sleep pattern on you.